Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing part 3 of this video series, making Jack Skellington from Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas crochet kit. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I'm going to be continuing my viewer request to do this in lefty. I've already done this in righty. If you want to check that video out, go ahead and click on the crochet playlist at the end of this video. But today we're going to continue with the arms. We have to make 2 of them. So I'm going to do one on video and I'm going to do the other one off camera for video time purposes. Okay, so I have done this before, you guys, so I am running very low on my black and white, so I am going to be using my own black and my own white. Different yarn, nothing I can do, but we're gonna see what happens in the end. It doesn't look too bad so far, so alright, so let's do this left-handed. Okay, so with the black yarn, we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches on an adjustable ring or magic loop. Let me show you how to do that. If you need me to speed up or slow down in this video, go click on the gear button at the corner of the screen. There's a playback option to go fast or slow. If you're more of a visual person, you can click on the closed caption button CC right over here somewhere, and then lower the volume on your phone as well. Okay, so let's start this adjustable ring or magic loop, magic ring, however you call it. We're going to wrap this around our finger a couple of times like this with a little bit of overage so that I can put my middle finger right on top of it. Then you want to go palm up. You should have 3 strands across your finger. I'm going to take the hook and slide it right under the 3 strands. Then I'm going to take the hook and drag this strand underneath these 2. So go ahead and do that now. You might have to twist the hook sideways, but pull that under the 2 strands. Then we have to close off this magic ring, adjustable ring, magic loop by yarning over and pulling that through the last loop like that. And then we can remove this whole thing off your finger. And that is the beginning of our adjustable ring. Magic ring, magic loop. Okay, so to start this off, we're going to chain 1, and this is to do the height for the single crochet stitches. Then next, we're going to do a single crochet stitch 6 times. So stick your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, and pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch on our adjustable ring. Let's do this again. Put your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches and the chain stitch on this adjustable ring. So I'll walk this through one more time with you guys. So into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and now we have 3 single crochet stitches, a chain stitch, and we just have to repeat the single crochet stitch 3 more times. So 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to pull this excess piece here. We have a front loop and a back loop. We're going to pull this a little bit and see which one moves, either the front or the back. So pinch with your thumb and middle finger this lower part here where the excess yarn is. You want to pinch it lightly so that it's stable, because we're going to pull this out and we're going to watch to see which loop goes in first. So let's pull this and watch very closely. Okay, so in my case, it's the back loop. It might be the front loop for you, but for me, it's the back loop. Once I've established which loop goes in first, I'm going to want to pull that end, this bottom end, out. So whichever loop went in first, you want to take the lower end and pull it out so that the other loop can disappear. So do that now. Pull it in little pieces if you have to, but just pull until you see that other loop disappear. Once that loop disappears into the adjustable ring, it may still have a little hole. That's okay. Now we're going to really close this hole by pulling the excess yarn. So start pulling that, and once you pull that, you can kind of tug on it a little bit to make it nice and taut. Don't pull it too hard, but just a little tug closes that loop, so now there's no hole in there. So next what you want to do is you want to count back 6 stitches from the hook and do and insert your hook into the 6th stitch, and we're going to do a slip stitch. So count 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to put your hook into the 6th stitch like that. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops, and that is your slip stitch. We're going to take a marker and we're going to mark the last stitch we made, and then we're going to move on to the next round. So it says here for round 2 through 20, we're going to do a single crochet stitch in all 6 stitches, and then we'll eventually change to white. So 6 single crochet stitches, straightforward. That should be easy. The hard part is keeping track of which round you're on. So this would be round 2 that we marked. If you have them, use them, and if you don't have enough, you could always rotate them as you climb up your arm. So I happen to have a bunch. I'm going to use as much as I can. You can buy them off of Amazon or a hobby store. They're not that cheap, and they come in large packs sometimes. That's probably best. That way you never run out. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ooh, so I have enough for 20. That's amazing. I've been collecting these, you guys, from all the kits that I've been showing you. So that's how I ended up building them. If you use those kits, save all the hooks, all the markers, even the eyes. I keep all the eyes even though I never use them. The needles too. So anyway, so now we're going to do this 6 single crochet stitches. I'm just going to do this in silence for just the sake of me talking in the time of the video. Okay, but before we go dead silent, let's just do one round to make sure you got it. Okay, so leave your marker in here. I sometimes forget, but we're going to chain 1 for the single crochet height. Then we're going to go into the next stitch, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch. So into the next stitch, we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time with you guys. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so let's just do this 3 more times. 1, 2, and then 3. Leave the marker in there. And then what we're going to do is count back 6 stitches, and then put your hook into the 6th stitch. 6, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through all the loops, and then we're going to mark this off with the marker, and now we're on round 3. So as you notice, this project is starting to curve into itself, looking like a basket with this little excess piece sticking out in the bottom. What we want to do is invert this because this is inside out. So the way that you know is this little piece here from your magic ring. It should be tucked inside, not outside. So just invert your little ring. Okay. And it's the same thing we're going to do, the 6 single crochet stitches. You want to make sure that you tuck this excess piece in there real well. You don't want to crochet into it. You could cut it shorter if you'd like. I just leave it and just try to tuck it in. But now we're just going to continue that step of doing that ring, I don't know, about 17 more times. Again, using the markers to keep track. If you don't have 20 and you have 5, you'll just have to keep removing it and moving it up, but you have to kind of remember where you left it. I would mark like where 2 is, maybe do 5 rows, put another marker, so at least you know the increments, something like that. But anyway, all right, let's do this in silence. Okay, so I've completed all 20 rounds, and before I do a slip stitch on the 6th stitch, we're going to change to white. So what I'm going to do is remove the hook by pulling out the loop really long, exaggerate it, because you don't want to lose this loop. And then you're going to go grab your white, and we're going to cast onto the hook. Okay. So, how you do that? Ring finger, pinky, thumb on one end, index and middle finger on the other. Hold it apart like this. You're going to hold your hook perpendicular to the yarn. You're going to go down, out, and around to make a loop. And I'll do that again. Perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to make a loop. And then I'm going to take my middle finger and just hold it in place here while I remove my right hand. I'm going to gather up some yarn on the finger. I'm going to pinch the end here, and we're going to slide the hook farther down next to the thumb. Okay, once we hit that spot, we want to take the thumb and middle finger and pinch where it crosses so that it's stable and your hook can't move. Because we're going to do a yarn over, and we're going to pull that through the loop. Next, I'm going to overhand my hook. Okay, I'm going to pinch the end piece, just like that. And then I'm going to take the knot, and I'm going to push it down towards the end piece, towards my thumb, until I can't push it any further. Okay, and once you hit a stopping point, then you can take the excess piece and just pull that out to make the knot snug. You don't have to pull it too tight. So then I'm going to grasp the knot with my index and thumb, and I'm going to pull it up towards the hook. So pull it up towards the hook. You want to leave a good amount of loop there for you to work with later. We're going to remove the hook, set this loop down for a little bit. We're going to get our project, put the hook back into that large loop, and we're going to tighten it up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is count 6 stitches from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick your hook into the 6th stitch. Now instead of using the black yarn to yarn over and do a slip stitch, we're going to use the white yarn. So slip that onto the hook. Gather up your yarn here. Now we're going to pull this loop through all the loops on the hook. And then we're going to mark off the last stitch. You can remove your markers now. You don't really need to have all of them on there. But now we have our white yarn to work with. I'm going to cut the black off because we won't be using it again. And what I want you to do now is we're going to tie the black around the white just to stabilize it. So take your white yarn and take your black. You just want to loosely knot 2 times around the white. And then you can tuck that black end piece into the arm. Okay. And then we can continue making the fingers. So now we can work normally with our white. So the next round creates the fingers, round 23. Oh no, sorry. We completed 2 through 20. Let's remove all the markers. We don't need them anymore. We're going to use them for the next one because we changed to white. We're going to do rounds 21 and 22. Well, we don't really need markers for them because it's only 2 rounds. And hopefully you're not further down this process to not remember 2 rounds. Sometimes when I push projects and I try to get them done in a few hours, I will lose count a lot really quick. So when in doubt, always use markers, but we're just going to be doing 2 rows. I'm just going to remove all these. Okay. Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so we're gonna do single crochet stitches all the way around. So chain 1, and let's do 6 single crochet stitches. Okay, count back 6 and then do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're gonna put the marker, and we're just gonna do this one more time. 6 single crochet stitches. Two, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to count back 6 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then I'm going to move this marker and put it in the last stitch we made. Okay. Alright, we did 21 and 22, and then the next round makes the fingers. So for round 23, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, chain 5, skip the first chain from the hook, slip stitch in the next 4 chains, slip stitch in the next stitch 4 times. Ooh, okay, let's break that down. Okay, I don't know why they have 4 fingers. In the last video, I just added 1 more because I wanted to have 5 fingers. And I think this guy, well, I don't know. But I feel like he needs 5 fingers. So I'm just going to repeat it 5 times. But let's see. Alright, single crochet 2. Chain 1 for the height. Then single crochet 2 times. 1, 2. Okay, then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip first chain from hook. Okay, slip stitch in next 4 chains. Okay, so we're going to skip the first chain, and I'm going to use the back loops. So you see how you have this nice braid? I don't like to lose the nice braid, so I put my hook in the back loops here, these little humps. So skip 1, we're going to slip stitch in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And then slip stitch in the next stitch. So here's the next stitch. We're going to slip stitch, and then it says to repeat it 4 times. Again, I'm going to do it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to skip the first one and then slip stitch in the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then slip stitch into the next stitch. Okay, then we're going to do 5 chains again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to slip stitch in the 4 stitches after skipping 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slip stitch. Okay, so you have 3, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're skipping 1 and slip stitching 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, then slip stitch. Okay, so here are the 4 fingers, and it's just unsettling to me, so I'm gonna add the 5, but I'm gonna do it shorter so it could be like the thumb. So instead of 5, let's do 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna skip 1 and do slip stitch on the 2. 1, 2, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So now I have my thumb. Maybe I should have done 4. Yeah, this yarn is so much. I did 3 before in the last video. I'm just gonna do 4 real quick. Just undo it till you get to that last slip stitch, if you choose to undo it. I'm gonna do 4 instead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip 1 and then do 3 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, or you don't have to do this at all. You can just follow the instructions and stick with 4 fingers. Okay, slip stitch into the next stitch. Okay, now I have my thumb. I just need 5 fingers. I can't fare well with just 4. Okay, so fasten off, leave a long tail for sewing. Really? On the white? Okay. It wants a long tail, but I don't know what you're sewing. So to fasten off, you want to yarn over and pull all the way out. And then we're going to tighten up that stitch, and that's a fasten off. So the yarn, the black yarn that I'm using now is a lot thicker than their yarn. which is why the arm is fairly long, but he's so lanky, I don't think it's gonna make a difference. Okay. So we have to trim a 4-inch piece of craft wire and insert it into each arm, and then use a tapestry needle to pick up the front loops of the last round and pull tight. Pull tight to close the hand and weave the ends. With black, sew the arms to round 45 of the body. Okay, let's take a quick look at this. So that's why you need to sew it. Now I have him here, I have the arm here. I have to cut the wire. The only thing is, I already made one, so, and I've been using the wire to hold him up in his neck and body and everything. This is all I have left, and I can cut a 4-inch, but I won't have any left for the remainder of the other arm. So I did find my craft wire. I have no idea what I was using this for, but I have it. This is a 12 gauge. I mean, it's obviously a lot bigger than the other one and a lot stronger. So I'm just gonna use this. The only thing is, I think I'm really gonna jack up my scissor if I use it. I might have to grab some pliers, but I would suggest getting a thicker gauge because well, I'll have to get a new one at some point. I would suggest I lost my train of thought. Getting this because it is stronger. So, and in the book you can make a Christmas Jack Skellington, so that's always a good thing to get anyway. I think that's why they gave you that much yarn, I mean wire, although it's not enough for all of it, so I think you definitely need to get more. Okay, trim a 4-inch piece of craft wire and insert it into each arm. And because I used a thicker yarn, this arm is long, so it doesn't actually reach. I probably should have that's okay, it'll swim in there. Once you bend it, it'll stay put. Okay, so then we have to use the tapestry needle. And then we have to pick up all the front loops. So we just got to close this off, in other words. So we're just going to grab the loops here. Okay, then I'm just going to pull it closed. Okay, and then I just have to find a moment to tie a knot somewhere. And I'm not a sewer, so if you find a better way to tie a knot, please do that. Comment below about it. Help us all out. Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of fish this in here, right? I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna pull this all the way out. Okay, over pull just a little bit. So I'm gonna cut this flush. Okay, and you see that white dot there? Just gonna stretch it out so it's hidden. So now you can feel that wire in there. You can bend it anyway. It's a little shorter than the arm, but that's fine. Oh my gosh, this is a little absurd. But we're supposed to sew this on. So where we switched to white, that was row after row 47. And they want you to sew the arms to round 45. So this is 47, 46, 45. We have to sew it here like that. Okay. Oh, and it's poking out. Okay, let me grab some black yarn and we are going to sew it with our tapestry needle. Again, I'm not a sewer, so if you have a better way of sewing, by all means, I'm just going to do what I can. Okay. So 48, 47, 46, 45. Let me just double check. 48, 47, no, 47, 46, 45. Okay, I'm going to leave a little tail because I'm going to hide it in the project. Plus, I'm going to use it to tie the rest. The end of this when I'm done sewing around it. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. And I just stuck it on there, didn't I? You can properly gauge where you're gonna put it, but I'm just gonna put it in here, and then you just sew around the arm. You want to make sure that the arm is secure onto the body, so pretty much however you feel you need to do that. I'm just going to go under the arm here. Okay, so I got all the way around. I'm going to tie this up 2 times. Two. Then I'm going to cut this piece here. And then I'm going to grab my hook, kind of maneuver it just under the surface to get up right near those ends, and I'm going to drag it down into the project till it disappears. And then if I can't pull this out without pulling the stuffing, I'm just going to try pushing it forward, but it looks like it's easier to pull it out. Okay, so this is my extra long arm for Jack Skellington. Now we're supposed to create 2 of these, so off camera I'm going to do 2 of these, and then 1 more of this, and then I'm going to do the shirt. I'll be right back. Let's move on to the next stuff. We're going to do the shirt now. So we have row 1 with white. We're going to chain 8, skip the first chain from the hook, 7 single crochet stitches, and turn. So I'm going to show you guys how to cast on to your hook. Now if you are a lefty, we're going to hold the yarn this way. You want your ring, pinky, and thumb on the end, and then you want your middle and index about 1 inch apart or so. We're going to take our hook and we're going to lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to make a loop. And I'll do that again. We're going to go perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to make a loop. Once we're here, we'll take my middle finger and just hold it in place where it crosses. We can let go with the right hand. I'm going to go and gather up some yarn onto my finger. We're going to pinch the end of this yarn here, and we're going to slide the hook all the way down. Once we meet the thumb and the middle finger, you want to pinch where it crosses so that there's no movement up and down with your hook. It's staying stationary. And then we're going to do a chain. So to do that, we're going to yarn over. That's putting the yarn over the hook like this. I'll do it again. Yarn over the hook like this. And we're going to pull this strand here through the loop. So pull that through. And then I'm going to overhand my hook. I'm going to pinch the end of that piece. And I'm going to push with my index and thumb this knot towards this thumb here. So keep pushing it down until you can't push it anymore. Okay. And once you hit a stopping point, then you can take your thumb and middle finger and pull this excess piece out just to make that knot a little snug. And then I'm going to take my index and thumb here. I'm going to grip this knot and I'm going to slide it up towards the hook, and I'm going to pull out this way just to help it along. So let's do that. Pull it towards the hook. You want to leave some space here like that so it can slide. Oh, we're not switching colors, sorry. Leave some space here, and then we can start our round 1. Okay, so with the white we have to chain 8. So to stabilize your project, you want to grip with your thumb and your middle finger the knot, just like that. We're going to go back under on this needle, and then we are going to yarn over, and we're going to pull this through the loop. That's 1 chain. We're going to do it again. Yarn over, pull through the chain. That's 2. We're going to yarn over and pull that through the loop. That's 3. So we just have to do this 5 more times. You can crawl your thumb and middle finger up the chains to hold it better. We're going to do this 5 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 8 chains now. We're going to skip the first chain from the hook, which is this right here. So let me talk to you guys a little bit about the chain stitch. So once you complete your 8, this is what it's going to look like. It looks like a French braid, not a French braid, it looks like a braid. Okay, we have our loops on each side here. And so when they tell you to do a single crochet stitch and skip a stitch, you're skipping this first braid, and we're going to go into the second one, and they want you to put it in the top loop like that. Now, that's the normal way to go about it, but I do it differently. You can go ahead and just do the top loop all the way down to make 7 single crochet stitches if you'd like, or you can do it how I do it. How I do it preserves the braid underneath, because you never know what it's going to look like in the end. So I like to preserve the braid as much as I can. So what I do is I turn it to its profile side. You have its back side, and then you see the profile side. You see these little humps sticking out. So I'll put them in those humps. These guys. Okay. So I'm going to skip one. And then I'm going to put my hook into the next stitch, but in that back hump. And I'm going to go about my single crochet business as usual. So how you do a single crochet stitch, once you put your hook into the next stitch, you want to yarn over and pull up a loop. Then we're going to yarn over again, and we're going to pull through 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch. Now we have to do 6 more. So into the next stitch, if you are doing it normal, you can put it on the top loop. Or if you're doing it like me, you can turn it on its side and put it in the back hump. Stick your hook in there, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have 2 single crochet stitches. Let's walk through this one more time with you guys. So you stick your hook either on the top loop here or on its profile in that back hump. And then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So now we have 3 single crochet stitches. You can see that if we go look underside, I maintain that braid so it looks nice. And that's why I do it. You don't have to do it this way. But we have to do this 4 more times. So 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So we have 7 single crochet stitches, and then we have to turn. So turning is just how you see it here. It's going this way. Turning it is just flipping it like that. So we can start all over again. If you are a lefty, you always start on the left side. So we're just turning it so you can start on the left side. Okay, so now for rows 2 through 4, we're going to chain 1 and do 7 single crochet stitches and turn. So 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I'm not going to put them on here. I'm just going to move it over so These are like my little counters because I don't have a counter. You can buy yourself a little counter. It's a little square little counter that you can use. I'm going to just move it over from the little group. This is going to be 2. That's my poor man's way of counting. There's even a poor way to count. If you have not seen my previous videos, you just cut a piece of different color yarn and use that. But anyway, all right, so we're going to chain 1. This makes the height of the row, single crochet row. So we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop to make a chain, and then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. So this time we put it through both. So you see how there's a braid here? We're going to put it into both loops. Okay? All right, so we're going to put it into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we just have to do this 4 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 7. Gonna turn. So this is round 3. Chain 1 and 7 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, turn. And we're just going to do this one more time. Chain 1, 7 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right, so for rows 5 through 9, chain 1, decreasing stitch, single crochet until end of row, turn 2 stitches at the end of row 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we have turned this. Okay, so we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do our decreasing stitch. So how you do this is you stick your hook into the first stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and then into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So we have 3 loops now. We're going to yarn over and pull through all loops. That's a decreasing stitch. So we just made 2 stitches into 1, and then we're going to do 5 single crochet stitches till the end of the row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and turn. Move this over. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to chain 1. In the first stitch, stick your hook in there, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. We made 2 stitches into 1, and then we're going to be doing 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and turn. Okay, again, we're going to chain 1. We're going to do a decreasing stitch. Okay, then we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, and turn. Okay, on the 7th row now. We're going to chain 1. We're going to do a decreasing stitch. Okay, then we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Then we're going to turn. Okay, so now we have the last one here. We're going to chain 1. We're going to do a decreasing stitch. I'm going to do 1 more single crochet stitch. Okay, and then we're going to turn. And that is it. 2 stitches at the end of row 9. Now for row 10, we're going to chain 1 and do a decreasing stitch. So chain 1 and do a decreasing stitch. Okay. Fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing. Sew the shirt to the body with row 1 positioned over round 46 of the body. Okay. So I'm just going to cut this. We're going to fasten this off like we did with the arms. So we're going to yarn over and pull through all the way out. We're going to tighten up that knot there. Then I'm going to take my needle and we're going to sew this onto the body. All right. So now it says round 46. We know that when we did the head, it was row 47. So this is row 47. So 46 is this one. So what we're going to do is lie this flat right on the 46th row. And I'm just going to sew this onto here. I should have probably gave myself more yarn, but we'll see what happens. Okay, then I'm gonna just go right onto the surface of the white shirt, and I'm gonna come up where this excess piece is. I'm gonna hook it and I'm gonna drag it into the project. Until that thread disappears, like that. And then we're going to move on to the next part of the project here. Okay. So now we're going to do the collar. All right, with the black, we're going to chain 15 and skip the first chain from the hook, slips. Okay, so let's just start there actually. We're going to cast on. So again, thumb, ring, pinky, and we have our index and middle perpendicular to the yarn, down, out, and around to make the loop. Hold it there with your middle finger. Let go of your hand here. We're going to cast on, we're going to put some yarn on our finger here. Pinch the end. We're going to slide the hook down, and wherever that crosses, just pinch with your middle and your thumb. And we're going to chain one, overhand the hook, pinch the end down here, and we're going to push that knot towards your thumb until it can't go down anymore. And once you hit a stopping point, you can take the end and pull that out to make a little snug knot right here. We're going to slip this knot up towards the hook, leave some space here, and then we can start. You can probably see it better if you go back to the video and see the white shirt we just did. Okay, so we're doing the right piece and we're going to do 15 chains. So let's yarn over, pull through the loop, 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 yarn over, pull through the loop. So now we have 5. I'm going to do 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we have 15 chains. We're gonna do skip the first chain from the hook. That's this one here. Slip stitch the first one stitch, sew into the next stitch. Like I said, I'd go through the side profile and I put it through the back hump. You could probably see it better on your end than in camera because the yarn is so dark you can't really see it. But to do a slip stitch, yarn over like we do with the magic rings and stuff. You yarn over and you pull through all the loops to make a slip stitch. Then we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. So into the next stitch, single crochet stitch, into the next stitch, single crochet stitch. Then how we do a half double crochet stitch, HDC. I'll show you how to do that. Those are my favorite stitches. Yarn over, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and that's a half double crochet stitch. So yarn over, into the next stitch, okay, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So we have 2, we just have to do 9 more. So one more time with you guys, into the next stitch, yarn over. Oh, I forgot to yarn over. Okay, take it out. Take it out. Alright, yarn over, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then we're going to do this 8 more times. Don't forget to yarn over. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Oh wait, let's yarn over. 8. Okay. All right, so we have 14 stitches. We're going to fasten off, leave a long tail for sewing. Okay, now we're going to do the left piece. And again, we're going to cast onto the hook. You can rewind if you need to see this better. Okay, so for the left piece, maybe we should make sure you know this is the right one. For the left piece, we have to chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, we're going to skip 2 chains from the hook, and then we're going to do a half double crochet stitch, 11 of them. So yarn over, we're going to skip 2 chains, and then you're going to stick your hook into that 3rd one. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all loops, and then we're going to do this 10 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, 7, 8, 10. So we have 11 in total. All right, 2 single crochet stitches. We have 2 single crochet stitches, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. Okay, and then we're going to fasten off, leaving this long tail for sewing. Okay. Sew collar to the sides of the shirt. Okay, so this was a little confusing for me, but what it means is we're going to sew it on this way. Okay, so let me do that, and I'm going to speed this up for video time purposes. Okay, so we sewed on the collar. Now we're going to do the tie center. So with the black, again, this is just casting on. Okay, so round one for the tie center, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to skip the first chain from the hook, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch and turn. So skip the first chain from the hook, then we're going to stick it into the next one. Again, I put it at the back hump there, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch, and then we're going to turn. Okay, then we're going to chain 1 and do an increasing stitch. So into that first stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. So here's 1 into that same stitch we used, do another single crochet stitch. So now we have 2. Okay, and then turn. We're going to do a chain 1, and then we're going to do an increasing stitch 2 times to end up with 4. So into the first stitch, let's do an increasing stitch. 1, 2, and then we have to do it again into the next stitch, do an increasing stitch. 1, 2. Okay, so now we have 4 stitches and turn. Then we're going to do chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip the first chain from the hook and do a slip stitch. So skip the first chain, into the next one we're going to do a slip stitch. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet stitch. So that would be into that first stitch, we're going to do a single crochet stitch. Okay. Skip first single crochet stitch of the row. Single crochet stitch on 2 single crochet stitch on the main row. So do 2 more. 1, 2. Okay. And then repeat the part in parentheses. Okay, so we have to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip the first one. We're going to do a slip stitch in the second chain from the hook, and then from the third we're going to do a single crochet stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch into the last stitch of the row. Okay, so now we have our tie center. All right, fasten off, leave a long tail for sewing. Okay. Okay. Alright. Oh, and I didn't fasten off. But here, let me show you how you can fasten off. Pull this out. Just stick your needle through the hook. And then pull it all the way out till you tighten it up. And that's a fasten off. Okay. Okay, so using the tapestry and white yarn, embroider the eyes. Oh, I gotta do the eyes first. It sucks. Alright, take this out. Got it all nice too. I have some leftover white yarn from the last piece, so I'm just gonna use that. Okay. Then we have to sew on 2 eyes. So what I'm going to do actually, here, let's do it this way. I'm going to take the 2 ends like this, and I'm going to stick the 2 ends through the eye hole. Okay. Then I'm going to draw the eyes. I'm going to sew the eyes on. So just stick it through. Oops, I pulled it all the way out. Okay, and then we're just going to go up here. I'm going to put this loop over the needle so that it acts as its own knot, so I don't have to tie any knots. Okay, so we have our, and you can double up or not, but let's see what it looks like. I'm just going to do one and see if it looks okay. I think it looks fine, right? Okay, so now just got to figure out a way to tie your knot. Start out is a good idea, but I don't know how to sew, you guys, so don't come for me. I say that all the time, so if you have your better way to tie knots where you need them, then by all means. Okay, now we can sew this on. Okay. It's coming along. Okay. All right. So then we have to do the tie wings. And we're going to be continuing with black. And again, we are just casting on this time, no magic rings or anything. Okay. Oh shoot, with black and leaving a long initial tail. I didn't read ahead. Alright, so the beauty of crochet is we take this out, right? Leave a long initial tail, so we're going to have all this, and then we're going to cast on. Okay. So now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to skip the first chain from the hook and do 2 single crochet stitches. So skip the first chain and then do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. All right, and then we're going to turn, and then we're going to chain 1, and we need 2 single crochet stitches. So into the first stitch we're going to do a single crochet stitch, into the next stitch we're doing a single crochet stitch. All right, and then we're turning again. So for row 3 we're going to chain 1. In the first stitch, we're going to do an increasing stitch, 1, 2, and in the next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet stitch. And so now we have 3 stitches altogether. We're going to turn this and start rows 4 and 5. For 4 and 5, we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. I won't need the markers because it's only 2 rows. So chain 1 into the first stitch. And we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, and turn. And then we're going to chain 1 and do another 3 single crochet stitches. So into the first stitch, we're going to do a single crochet stitch and make 3 in total. Okay, and then turn. So for row 6, we're going to do chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, skip the first chain from hook, slip stitch 2 times. So skip the first one, into the next one, slip stitch, into the next one, slip stitch. Okay, then we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. So into the next one, do a single crochet stitch, into the next one, a single crochet stitch, and into the next one, do a single crochet stitch. Okay, then slip stitch on the main row. So in that first stitch, we're going to do a slip stitch. Okay. So now we have to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're going to skip the first chain from the hook, and then we're going to do 2 slip stitches. So skip the first one, 2 slip stitches. Okay. Then we're going to do 4 single crochet stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 4. Okay. And then we're going to do a slip stitch on the main row. So into that second stitch on that row, we're going to do a slip stitch. Okay. So then we're going to do another 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to skip the first chain from the hook, do 2 slip stitches. So into the second chain from the hook, we're going to do a slip stitch, and then into the next one, we're going to do another slip stitch. Then we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then we're going to do a slip stitch on the main row, which is the last stitch on this row. Slip stitch. Okay. And so now we have 3 wing tips. Fasten off, weave the end, sew the wings to the sides of the tie. Okay. I think I figured out it. I did something wrong in the first video for righties, so I don't know if I did, but I have a feeling that I did. Yarn over, pull through all the way out, fasten off, tighten it up. I mean, maybe I didn't, I don't know. And then we're just going to weave this in and out of your project so we can hide this excess piece here. And then we're going to use the long piece to sew onto our project. And then you guys, you have to do 2 of these. So off camera, I'm going to do the second one. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to show you how I sew it on. Again, I'm not a sewer. You can do it however you think is best. Yeah. So here we have our little wing. All right, so let me disappear for a sec and do the second one off camera. Okay, so I have 2 of these now. And we have to sew the wings to the sides of the tie. So I guess we're sewing it like this. Okay. And then I'm going to sew this up. So got the arms, got the tie and the tie wings, and what's left to do is the coattails. I struggled, if you saw, because I just had put lotion on my hands, and for the life of me, the hands were slipping off the needle every chance I got. So don't put on lotion before you do needlework. Okay, so last thing that we have to do here is the coat tail, and we have to make 2. So I'm going to do one on camera and then one off. We're going to sew this. That is the end of the instructions for Jack Skellington. Next time we're going to do Sally. I am going to throw in some other crochet kits, but we will get back to this. Comment below if you want to see any other characters beforehand. We have this fellow here. We have Christmas Jack Skellington, where he's dressed up. We have Santa Claus. We have Zero. We have Beryl. Shock. Lock. We have the mayor of Halloween Town, and he does have the other side to his face, so that's gonna be cute. We have Dr. Finkelstein, and then we have Oogie Boogie along with Sally. So comment below if you have a preference to what you want to see next. Otherwise, I will be moving on to Sally. Okay, so let us do this. So with black and leaving a long initial tail. Okay, so we're doing this again. Long initial tail. We're going to chain 3. So, like we do to cast on. This is legit how I cast on, so it's fairly simple. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to skip the first chain from hook. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches and then turn. So we're going to skip the 1, and then, as you know, I do the side profile. I go into the hump instead of the top loop. You can do the top loop if you want. I'm going to go through the hump. 1, 2, okay. Then I'm going to be doing chain 1, increasing stitch, 1 single crochet stitch, turn, and we're going to have 3. So we have this turned. We're going to chain 1 in the first stitch. We're going to do the increasing stitch. 1, 2, and then we're going to do the single crochet stitch, and then we're going to turn. Okay, and then for round 3 we're going to chain 1, 3 single crochet stitches and turn. So chain 1, and then in the first stitch we're going to do 3 single crochet stitch, and we're going to end up doing 3 of these. And then we're going to turn. Okay, so the 4th row we're going to chain 1, we're going to do an increasing stitch, 2 single crochet stitches and turn. So chain 1, first stitch, an increasing stitch, 2, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches and end up with 4 stitches and turn. Now for the next 2 rows, 5 and 6, we're going to chain 1 and do 4 single crochet stitches. So chain 1 into the first stitch, we're going to do a single crochet stitch, and then 3 more. 2 and 3. Okay, then we're going to turn, and and we're going to repeat it. So chain 1 into the first stitch, we're going to do a single crochet stitch, and then we're going to do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then turn. So now for row 7, we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to skip the first stitch. We're going to slip stitch 5 stitches. So skip the first one, slip stitch 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay. Slip stitch 1 stitch on the main row. Okay, so in the first stitch we're going to slip stitch. Okay. Then we chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip the first stitch from the hook, slip stitch 3 stitches. So skip 1, we're going to slip stitch 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then we're going to skip a stitch and slip stitch 1 on the main stitch. So we're skipping 1. I'm going to slip stitch on the main row here. Alright, and then we have to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip the first chain. We're going to slip stitch 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay. Slip stitch 1 stitch on the main row. Okay, so on the last one we do a slip stitch, and then we have 3 fringes. Fasten off, weave the end. So I'm going to fasten this off and then weave this end piece in and out of your project. Okay. So now I'm going to do the second one off camera, and then we're going to come back in and sew the last pieces, and we will be done with Jack Skellington for lefties. So we have our 2 coattails. We have to sew the coattails to the back of the body just above the legs. So let's flip Jack over. Poor Jack. Okay, so just above the legs is right here. How are we going to situate this? Can do it like this. Yeah. So I'm just gonna sew it maybe 2 rows just above the legs. And we are going to be done with this, you guys. So in silence, hopefully I can work with the lotion. Okay, you guys, so here we have Jack Skellington all finished, saying hello, what's going on? Leg arms are a little long. Okay, but there he is in all his glory. So comment below, let me know how you did with this. It turned out, and this is a very long Jack Skellington, so I'm really liking that this kit just really gives you a bang for your buck. Comment below, let me know what you think about this, you guys. But I've enjoyed doing this second time round. Thank you so much for watching. Also, again, I'm going to be doing Sally next. I do have a like Thanksgiving pumpkins coming up. I've got a nice bag that I'm going to be making as well. And then we'll go back to the Nightmare Before Christmas. So thank you so much for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.